Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to exploit a Windows 7 machine with the MS17-010 vulnerability, also known as EternalBlue. So before I begin, EternalBlue is an exploit that was developed by the United States National Security Agency that exploits a vulnerability in Windows networking protocols, specifically SMB, or server message block, which allows remote access to data on the computer as if it were the local host. So a disclaimer before I proceed, obtaining authorization is vital in the process of conducting a penetration test to ensure that it's done ethically and legally. Always document consent from the owner of the network before testing, otherwise there can be legal consequences resulting in imprisonment. With that being said, we can now begin to enumerate our target. So we're going to go and start off by doing a simple nmap scan to our target IP address. Should take a couple moments. We see we have about 9 ports here. Some of these are going to be private or dynamic ports. In the context of using EternalBlue, we know that this exploits SMB, which also operates on port 445. So we can see that our target has an open port for SMB. We can verify if a machine is vulnerable to EternalBlue in various different ways. Some would likely recommend using Nessus, but we can also verify this by using an nmap script. Type the switch for script, and we want to select the MS17 vulnerability. And we want to target port 445 because that's what it operates on, followed by our target IP address. So almost instantly, we can see remote code execution vulnerability in SMB v1 servers has a high risk factor for being very, very vulnerable. So if we're a hacker, we're having a pretty good day to see this. We can go on and to begin to hack our target by loading up our metasploitable framework. Take a minute to load. So now that we're in metasploitable, we'll go ahead and search for EternalBlue. And we see we have about 5 options here, ranking from best to worst. And highlighted, we can see right here, EternalBlue SMB Remote Windows Kernel Pool Corruption. We want to use this tool to exploit. So we'll go ahead and type use 0. And we are loaded into the exploit. And we can see that we have no payload configured. So it defaults to the Windows 64-bit interpreter reverse TCP handler. In this case, this is what we want. We do not want to change this. So we'll go ahead and leave it at that, and we'll show the options of this module. And we can see that our R host has no current setting. So first thing we need to do is we need to set our R host to that target IP address. And now that we have that set, we don't have to configure any other parameters, so we can go ahead and exploit this machine. Shouldn't take too much longer. And we have an interpreter session established. Interpreter is our interactive shell for the attack payload. So once we see that interpreter is established, we know that we have unauthorized access on this machine, and we can execute admin level commands. So to view some of these commands, type help, and most off the bat, we can see get system. If you are a hacker, the first thing you would want to do once you access a machine is to escalate your account to the highest privilege on that machine. So we'll go ahead and type git system, and we're already running a system, which is perfect. And next we'll go ahead and fire up a shell, and we'll go and ask who am I? We are system, so we have the highest privileges of that system. So at this point, we can run just about any Windows commands on this machine. We've hacked into this machine and we're in a great place if we want to upload, download, or alter any data. So hypothetically, let's say that at some point in this process, an intrusion was detected and logged, and now a couple of days have passed, and ultimately this vulnerability is now patched. If we need access to this data on this machine again, we have to create another point of entry, for lack of a better term. Now, you can do this multiple ways. You can use rootkit software. You can use backdoor techniques and attacks. But the simplest of these ways would be to just add a new user. So we can do this by doing net user, and we will add a user named John with his password 123, not very secure, and we'll go ahead and add this account. And the account has been added. So since we created a user account, it's going to be assigned user privileges. So what we need to do now is move John from the user group to the admin group. And we can do this by net local group administrators. And we're going to add John to this administrator group. And the command is completed successfully. And we can verify this by doing net local group administrators. See who's in that group. Now we see we have our John account on this system. We also have students and other admins. But ultimately, we have hacked into this machine using MS17-010, and we have successfully exploited SMB protocol to act as the local host on this machine. Thank you all for watching.